What does the Venezuela operation actually mean? What does it mean to the United States of America? If you are a Trump supporter, what does it say about you if you are okay with it? The reason I bring this up is because one of the big things that we talked about with Trump was the no new wars guy, no regime change, none of this nation building. And there was a big point about how that's not America first policy. Now here we are. Say whatever you want. This is a regime change, nation building operation. That's what's happening in Venezuela. We have to at least be honest about what we're doing there. The question we have to ask ourselves is, in the best case scenario, if everything works out exactly like you want it to work out, meaning our oil companies get in there, and let's not pretend it's about anything else other than cornering that largest deposit, known reserves in the world. Like, absolutely, that's what it's about. It's not about drugs or anything like that. But let's say everything works out exactly as we want it to. Our oil companies get in there. They rebuild Venezuela's infrastructure. Within a year, by midterms, within a year, the Gulf Coast oil refineries are operating at full capacity. The Venezuelan nation is once again on track to become an incredibly wealthy nation. Everything works out exactly as we want it to. It's picture perfect. Even in that scenario, I guess the question is this who we want to be? Is this the new United States of America? And if it is, I just want people to know that it's kind of the end of the Western liberal order of the respect of sovereignty, the respect of international law, and it is a return to blatant imperialism. Not that we haven't been a global power, not that we haven't been imperialistic for a long time in terms of Syria, Libya, Iraq, Iran, all of our meddling around the world, but this is a absolute blatant war for resources. And are we okay being that? And if we are, can we just acknowledge it? If you're MAGA and you're backing Trump on this, can we stop pretending that it's about narco-terrorism? Can we stop pretending that it's about anything other than protecting the dollar's status in the world? Because that's what it was. That's what this is for. This is about cornering the oil market so that the petrodollar is protected and we can continue to live vastly beyond our means and exporting our inflation because we control the majority of the world's oil. That's it. If we can't acknowledge that that's the truth, right? Can we acknowledge that that's the truth? I said, can we not acknowledge? We have to acknowledge that that's the truth and we have to be okay with it. And if we are okay with it, then we are now a might makes right nation. And we have no moral high ground. We don't get to lecture other countries. We are just saying that we're the biggest, we're the baddest, we're the most powerful. And so it is okay for us to just force our will upon the world through the use of our military. That's what we're saying. We don't have a moral high ground when it comes to Russia invading Ukraine. We're simply saying that we're more powerful than you. And we want the mineral deals in Ukraine. And that's why we're not going to let you have it. We're just going to say that. And just acknowledge that that's the reality of the situation. Let me explain exactly why this is the case, why this is a monetary issue. I was looking at the proposed budgets on this website where they were talking about comparing the Republican and Democrat economic proposals. And between the two proposals, you're talking about a $300 to $400 billion a year difference in the budget. And this is a budget that runs $1.7 to $1.8 trillion deficits. I think the budget deficit for fiscal 2025 was $1.7 trillion. The fact of the matter is, when Trump was elected, the plan was we're going to doge this thing. It's no more fraud, waste, and abuse. We're going to get our economic house in order. We're not going to keep running these massive deficits. We're going to fix this problem. It is very clear that that's not the case. Very clear. And that signal has been sent out to the world. Now, people don't want to hold our currency. They don't want this dollar hegemony. They don't want dollar dominance globally when they have to hold our debt, hold our dollars, and we're intentionally devaluing it and showing that there is no sign that we're going to stop doing that. They also don't want to hold our dollars and hold our debt when we weaponize our position in the world as the world reserve currency. So because they don't want to hold it, the BRICS nations are doing what they can to walk away from the dollar. That's their plan. They want to create a basket of currencies along with some gold and go, look, here's an alternative way to settle international oil trades, which is the kind of the core of why the dollar works the way it is and why the United States gets to live the way that it gets to live, essentially. In order to preserve that, in order to counter that, we have to control a vast majority of resources so that we can force people to continue trading in dollars. It's the reason behind Syria. It's the reason behind Libya. It's the reason behind Iraq. It's the reason behind Iran. It's the reason behind all of these things. Yes, we're going to have a conflict with Iran. Yeah, we may end up having are we going to be okay taking Greenland? Are we going to put serious pressure on Canada and actually make real threats to them militarily? Is that going to happen, and are we going to be okay with that? Because it's important that we control this. And that's what Trump is actually doing. That's his America First policy is we're going to use our brute force and our military to maintain our position and our dominance in the world. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. But at the end of the day, then just acknowledge that that's what we are. We are surrendering the moral high ground, and this is the direction that we've chosen to go. We are now a global empire, and we're going to use our military might to maintain that position. And that's it. Acknowledge it. This isn't because Maduro's a bad guy. Kim Jong-un is a bad guy. Why don't we go in there? Well, North Korea doesn't have anything we want. There are tons of bad guys all over the world. They're slaughtering Christians in, Nigeria. Are we doing anything about that? It's not about being a bad guy or a good guy. It's not about drugs. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about protecting the dollar. And if we're okay doing that, then we're okay doing it and just acknowledge it and admit it's true. That's it. That's all I got.